This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Clear the clutter and what? Clear the mind. David Hall joining us here, our CCCO. That's our Chief Clutter Clearing Officer from A+ Clutter Clearing Services. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm just doing great, Jill. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Excited to have you here. Please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Well, I'm a single man. I love a lot of different things. No. Sorry, I thought it was a dating site for a second.
You're funny.
I'm a Chief Clutter Clearing Officer for A+ Clutter Clearing. I've been doing so since 2017. I'm considered the man version of Marie Kondo. As you know, she did the book and Netflix series called Tidying Up, which really helped people recognize the need to have their clutter in its place and to recognize that by clearing the clutter, you actually clear your mind so you can focus on bigger issues.
God bless you. You're talking to a woman, myself, a 47-year-old who lives in Long Island, New York. I got a 10 and 8-year-old, and I have so much clutter, and I don't feel good about it. It weighs me down every day that I don't have enough time to put the papers away, to put the clothes away, and there's just clutter everywhere, and it makes me feel so uneasy and overwhelmed. And I'm sure a lot of your clients are saying the same things, right?
So true. It's a distraction. You know, when you see a pile of laundry just sitting there for 3 days, and you know that you can fold it in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But you just don't want to, or you've got a closet where things are just bulging out and
Totally.
say, oh, someday I'll get to it. And that someday may or may not ever come soon enough. And in the meantime, we're distracted by that. We're not really clearly focused on what the task is at hand, whether it's a Zoom call, whether it's a podcast, or whether it's planning a big event. While that pile of laundry is sitting there, oh my gosh, you just can't really get it out of your mind. By the way, if you hear a bird sound in the background, that's our bird named Bitty Bird, itty bitty bird.
Beautiful. What type of bird is itty bitty bitty bird?
She's a yellow bird and quite a talker, very happy, loves to be on camera, except she's in a cage and not really that close to being on camera.
Maybe for another show, we'll have her fly in.
That could very well happen.
Let's talk again about clutter. Look at my desk.
Oh
Clutter.
My gosh.
Yeah,
I do want to say the bird cage is clean, though. Clean.
Great. Unlike my desk. Well, look, David, I'm excited to get to know you here. Before we talk more about all the services you provide, let's back up a little bit. I want to go down to your childhood. Where are you from? And I want to find out, really what inspired you to start helping people get their stuff and life in order.
Well, I'm surely happy to share with you and the viewing audience today. So I grew up in a town outside of Manhattan called Mount Vernon, New York.
Beautiful.
It's 30 minutes north of Manhattan, a residential suburbia.
Yeah.
Little fact that just happened, I just celebrated my 50th high school reunion. I know I don't act it, but I'm actually older than I look. And it was such a treat to see people you haven't seen in 50 years and to go back and say, you remember that time we did such and such behind the bleachers? And to see them now with grandkids and white hair and some with no hair. And it was just a delight. Anyway, Mount Vernon, what happened over the years is that my sister on Long Island used to have a really messed up garage and attic. And every time I go over, she'd say, Dave, do you mind just taking a look at my garage, seeing if you could straighten things out? So the running joke for about 10 years was, do you mind coming over? We just want to see you for a couple hours. And the real message was, can you take a look at my garage and my attic? I really need some organization help. So I really got started out of love of service to my family. And that grew to some friends that also had trouble closing their dresser drawers. You know what I'm talking about out there. It's when you're trying to squish everything in that drawer, it doesn't close flat. And when you open it, it's like a jack-in-the-box springing out of clothes, socks, and sundry items. Not a great way to organize your stuff. And so for the last 8 years, I realized I can do this full time. I love providing service. I'm also involved with nonprofits. I'm involved with different events throughout the year. And the clutter clearing really serves the individual who just has TMS. Jill, TMS. You know what that stands for?
No, I do not.
T is 2, M is much, and S is stuck.
Oh, I
Too
was going to
much
say
stuff.
a bad word, but okay. Yeah, got it. Got it.
These days, those bad words are acceptable, evidently. I don't
They
know.
are. They are. Yes.
But TMS is something we all suffer from. It's just a matter of to what degree are we willing to, and here's the clue, let go. To let go of things that no longer serve us. And that's really what my business is about. Helping folks let go of things that no longer serve them, lighten the load, clear the baggage out of the way, and frankly, make room for more things. It could be more things materially, like let's go shopping, or it could be more things like I need to get that baby crib, that Graco stroller fitting in the closet, and it just won't move unless I get rid of 5 pairs of shoes. So I help make the tough decisions with my clients side by side. We become very connected, almost intimate to the extent that we finish each other's sentences after a 3-hour session. And by getting that close and building a trust quickly, the client and I can move at a momentum that allows for shifts to happen. And frankly, the end result is transformative. People feel lighter. They've lightened their load. They've gotten rid of the old baggage. In many cases, it's old documents and paper that no longer serves them. In other cases, it's clothes that don't fit. And in other cases, it's electronic wires. I'm putting my first book together, by the way, Jill, and I haven't finalized the title, but one of the chapters is called Just in Case. Just in case are those wires that are in a box, just in case you might need an RCA plug to hook up that old VCR, which nobody's used in 35 years.
Yep.
But just in case we might have that need to watch an old video, we have the wires locked away in the garage or in an attic or worse, under the bed somewhere. So one of the titles, chapter titles is Just in Case. Another chapter title is, ready?
What?
Pens, pencils, and paper clips.
Go ahead.
How many people have pens and pencils in a coffee mug and think it's the greatest idea? How convenient to have.
Guilty. Yeah.
And me too, but at least I've narrowed it down to 2 pens, 1 highlighter, and a pencil, which I really don't use that much at all. But a lot of people have what we would call an excessive amount or an excessive collection of pens, pencils, and paper clips. So I like to thin it out and make life a little bit more cozy, a little bit more comfortable, so that we can have a home environment that really serves our needs, our pleasure, and our guests.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you so much. And hold on here. We have so much to talk about and so much more that I want to learn about. And I'm sure our listeners do too, because you have this whole process, right? So it's the SMART process, right? As you say, SMART, correct?
That's correct.
And hold on, how did you even come up with this? Just curious.
I'm just a genius in certain ways. I don't know what to say.
You are so funny. I love you.
I mean, I'm clear, and so are you. And thank you so much for being our host. The SMART system just evolved out of what am I doing that can be systematic, not only for David Hall and A+ clutter clearing, but really for folks at home that don't have a professional organizer, at the beck and call. And so, would you like me to go over what the SMART system is all
Please.
about?
Would love
Okay.
to. Thank you.
So SMART, and I used to be a fan of Get Smart. I guess I still am a fan, but that show's about 40 years old as well. And so SMART, S stands for Start Simply. Now, a lot of people say, I want to get started with my clutter clearing. Where do I begin? Where, David, do I begin the clutter clearing process? So I came up with an answer. Start simply. And simply start. What do I mean by that? I mean, you don't want to take on the garage that's a 3-car garage and it's filled from the floor to the ceiling with everything. That's the toughest job in the home, is clearing the garage clutter, because it is a place for everything. What I rather suggest is try the laundry room. There's only a couple of cabinets and shelves above the washer and dryer. Let's take everything out from there and clear the clutter in a simple way. And the point is, Jill, that when we have success under our belts of clearing the clutter in a moderate, easy to use, easy location place in the home, we're more apt to continue the process of clearing the clutter. The converse side, oppositely, if we're doing that garage and we only get a third of it done and we're exhausted and 10 boxes fell on our heads, we're not that inclined to continue with the process. So I like to see success early in the process. So start simply and simply start. That's S for the SMART system. M stands for mindset. Mindset. I think it's so important that we have a good head on our shoulders. Let's put it to use when we're doing clutter clearing. Imagine you come into a room and you go, I just don't feel like this. This is a drudgery, more challenging than anything, even childbirth. Well, if you come in with that kind of hardship feeling, chances are you're not going to stay with the process. So I suggest get a good mindset. And here's how. Put on some tunes, put on music that inspires you. Nowadays, you got Spotify, Pandora, streaming, everything everywhere. You can have any music you want at the flip of a switch. So I suggest put on some good tunes. Secondly, in mindset, I suggest get a favorite beverage, cold beverage, hot beverage, iced beverage, straight or spirits. It doesn't matter to me. So good music, a good drink, and then to be also comfortable. Wear comfortable clothing, wear closed-toed shoes. You know, it's that simple little reminder. Don't wear open-closed sandals or barefoot when you're doing clutter clearing. You just don't know what's going to fall down from 6 feet up, and you don't want to damage your toes, your feet, or any other body part. So wear comfortable clothing and closed-toed shoes. That's the yes in the SMART system.
Wow.
What's next? A.
Okay.
A stands for action. Yes. At some point in the clutter clearing process, it's not in the mind, it's actually in activity. So what does action even look like? The first thing I created was a color code for how to take care of your clutter. So let's say you want to get rid of things. I call those discards. You don't know how you're going to get rid of them. You just know they're going out of the house. So a discard item would go in a black garbage bag, one of those 33-gallon jumbo lawn bags. It's black so that you can recognize when you have 20 bags in the house, you don't know which ones are donation and which ones are in the garbage if they're all the same color. So black for discard, and then white trash bags, the kind I use in the kitchen, 13-gallon. Use a white trash bag for donations, soft goods, of course. Did you have a question, Jill? Or
No, I'm going with it. This is
taking notes? Oh my goodness.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So A is action. So prepare yourself. Have some
Okay.
Windex or another brand product. Have some paper towels or rags around to clear off shelves. And you just want to have those garbage bags ready to go so that when you do make decisions and you make them more rapidly as you go, because you're starting to build momentum of letting go of the things that no longer serve you. When we do that, we place the items in those bags. And when I'm working with a client, I get rid of those bags and take them away for the client so they no longer have to deal with decision making, no longer have to deal with what about this? What about that? So that's the action we take. R, what's R stand for in the SMART technique? R stands for reuse, repurpose, and recycle.
Ooh.
I can't tell you the joy I have and the joy in clients' faces when I just move one table from one side of the room to another side, or an end table, or a lamp. So I'm repurposing the furniture that already exists in a home. Why? Because I work with Feng Shui principles.
And what is Feng Shui? Can you explain that exactly?
Feng
Thank you. Thank
Shui
you.
is Chinese for energy. Feng Shui is the qi, the energy that moves through a home. So you can imagine a home filled with boxes doesn't have a good airflow. Things are stagnant, things are stuck. And that, in fact, is how the person's personality could, in fact, feel. So when we clear the clutter to clear the mind, we're referring to having great access to beautiful breeze in the home, lots of live things like plants or aquariums or waterfalls or even fresh cut flowers. As importantly, a lot of people design rooms and homes where there's jagged edges of the edge of, let's say, a desk, and it's sticking out right at you when you enter the room. Bad Feng Shui, not a great design. It does not improve flow. So that's repurposing things. The other value of clearing clutter, as I said, you use a white garbage bag for donations. Imagine the feeling, things that no longer serve you. They're kind of junk. I don't want to call them junk, but in quotes, it's stuff you no longer need. That quote junk goes to someone else who has less than you. Pair of shoes, a purse, wigs, clothing, whatever it is that you have too much of and too many of, you can donate. And so recycling that to another person's use is actually beneficial. Makes you feel good in your heart, makes you feel good all over. So that's what the R stands for. Of course, recycling, we're going to recycle cardboard, paper, glass, all those electrical wires. I dispose of old television sets, though I don't like to because they weigh a ton, but I do it. So that's the R in SMART. And then T, I mentioned the word before. T stands for transformation. Just like a caterpillar morphs into a butterfly. My clients become better people. They become lighter. They get promoted at work. They fall in love with a relationship. They rent out their apartment. Things happen because the shift physically in their home has shifted their minds and their sense of well-being. So, in a nutshell, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the SMART system.
Beautiful. Thank you. And if you are just tuning in, we want to remind everyone David Hall is here, our Chief Clutter Clearing Officer from A Plus Cleaning, A Plus Clutter Clearing Services, that is, out of beautiful Boca Raton, Florida. And let me ask you, I mean, a lot of this is hands-on, putting houses and, businesses and offices in order. We talking top to bottom? We're talking basements, garages, attics, sheds. You do it all?
Do it all. There's no room in the house that I haven't tackled to this point.
Beautiful. Now, how do you let people or help them let go of their things? Because we find attachment. It's unfortunate, but we are attached to items. And I don't want to throw it away, even though I can't wear that shoe, but that shoe reminds me of something, so I still keep it there on my floor.
Well, I'll tell you, every time I walk into a home, and people like to send me pictures beforehand, and then I see these pictures of walls of things, but the density of what people have accumulated, I call collections. It's really important not to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yes.
There's the minimalist that has nothing except one wire, and they can't figure out where does this wire go. There's that at the minimal level. And then, of course, there's the word hoarder, which I think is a psychological reference to someone who's not at ease with their surroundings and has way too much stuff. But I don't like to label anybody. I just like to say we have a lot of things that we've collected, and we've got TMS, too much stuff. So in letting go, it's real important that the client gives me some clues as to their trouble spots. I'll see it 5 seconds into walking into
Of course.
an appointment, but the client has to engage so that they have some say in the matter. And they might say, you know what? It's all the papers in my files. I'm an accountant, and I have to have all the files for 25 years. I go, let's see where your file cabinets are. And of course, it could be considered comical if it wasn't so desperate. And there's papers all over the place, and things are burgeoning out. And it's like, I didn't even know there was a file cabinet. I just thought it was a pile of papers. So that might be a place to start. Another client says, it's my master closet, my bedroom closet. I don't know why, but I can't get enough boots. And so they have boots from floor to ceiling. They can't wear any pair because they're all scuffed up because they're touching each other. And really getting no sense of value from their collection. So we take a process. In a closet, it's very important. We take everything out of the closet. We start with a clean palette. We wash down every shelf. We vacuum the floor. And then we rebuild item by item. And I do fashion shows, and I hold up a hanger and I go, what about this item? Do you wear it?
Wow.
No. Have you worn it in 6 months? No. Do you like it? I love it. All right, we're going to keep it. So I am engaging the client to get to yeses as much as to let go of things. I'm not at war with the client saying, you must get rid of this. And then there's a pull and tug and that kind of thing. It's not that way at all. One of my, I guess, virtues, and one of the things that I excel at is having a good time with the client. That what otherwise would be a drudgery, a chore, certainly a procrastination item, like I'm not going to get to it this year, and that's perfectly fine. I come in almost like Mary Poppins, and if you remember the movie from the 1960s, Mary Poppins would snap her finger, spoonful of sugar, and the room clears up itself.
Down. Yep.
Yep. So when that happens, the client says, oh, I think I'll have David back. I have plenty of rooms that I need to have organized. So they realize this is not a hardship, it's not a burden, and it's not a challenge of decision-making of who they are. I'm basically a catalyst with an eye for detail, a sense of where things fit, where things may fit better, and with things that no longer serve, let's donate to others that have less.
Wow.
I forgot the question, so I just kept talking.
It was about, letting things go personally. Well, what about, I have an idea. What about taking pictures of some of the things that it's hard to let go of?
Great suggestion. So
right? Okay.
A lot of people have grandma's self-knitted blanket, and that blanket is 87 years old, and it's in a wooden case. And when we open up that wooden box, moths fly out. So we love grandma, We love the throw blanket because it reminds us of our childhood, but it's just kind of war torn and doesn't really live up to its original look. So in that case, I would say, why don't we take a digital photo? We have unlimited camera ability on our phones. Take a picture of that heirloom, that sentimental piece, and then you have a digital picture, and then you can share that with friends and family and go, remember when Grandma knitted this? Well, I finally threw out the war torn remnants of a blanket, but here's, you remember the pattern. Here it is. So definitely taking digital pictures of things that no longer serve or have eroded or deteriorated over the years is safe, it's healthy, and it's a great way to store things that you can actually use and share with others.
Beautiful. And by the way, amazing testimonials I've been reading about you. So many of them. Let's see. This woman named Sandra says, you came over by recommendation. I'd been holding on to tons of papers, old bills, catalogs, photographs. I do the same with a light, breezy attitude and style. David purged my old papers with great care and speed. His style is delicious and his sense of humor is amazing. With feng shui design, he freed up my office, my desk, my home, sweet home. Now I feel much better, full of energy. When you hire David and A plus, be sure to have extra half sour, what is this, bubble pickles on hand? Wait, you love them? Wait,
Oh, Bubby pickles.
Bubby,
Yeah.
what
Some
are
people
Bubby
like,
pickles?
well, people like to feed me because I become their adopted child. So it's like, eat da tatala, eat. And tatala, I guess, is Yiddish for grandchild or something.
I love
So Bubby's pickles are the upscale of pickles, the Mont Blanc, if you will, the Rolls Royce of pickles. So when I saw it in somebody's refrigerator, in Sandra's refrigerator, I go, I love those. And they go, well, would you like one? And then we sit down, we look over the room that we're clearing out, and we share a pickle. And
Well,
again, building trust, building a warm relationship
yeah.
quickly really serves the client and really serves me in getting the job done. So thankfully, it's a natural part of my personality where I do enjoy engaging with people of all walks of life, of all backgrounds, and
Yeah.
of all clutter.
And people, of course, referencing your amazing personality. Clearly, you are just exuberating this
Look
energy
at
that you
this
have.
guy.
I want you to
Oh
come over. You're just so much fun. And seeing some of the projects, oh my goodness, like the kitchen counter befores and afters, the closet before. I feel like I'm looking at my house. Makes me feel a little bit better about myself, but it also makes me feel like, girl, you got to get to work because my sister thought she'd help me over the summer. I had a party here and I just could not do anything. So she took everything and she threw it in a bag, everything off the counter. And guess what? Everything is still in a bag on the floor. The counter
wow.
looks better, but now what? Now I have all the junk that I never went through in this bag and I still feel attached. I have to go through it because I don't know what's in there, what's not in there. So is that really helping me or no? Uh-uh.
I would say that's half the job and that's a half-assed approach. It's a great
Totally.
idea and it shows love of your sibling. There's a lot of love that goes into clutter. So when someone tries to help you out, it's for best purposes. But when it's half done, well, you're
Yeah,
left holding the bag literally on the floor.
exactly.
I do travel. It's not my norm, but I'm happy to come up to Long Island to assess what your needs are. And within 2 days, more than likely, unless you've got a 20,000 square foot home with lots of clutter. But
Yeah.
if you've got a 10,000 square foot home, I think we can handle matters in 2 or 3 days. And I have family on Long Island, so
Where?
we can work something out in both Jericho and in Levittown.
Amazing. I'm a
How
little
about
further out east in Holtzville, but awesome. And my house is probably like 2,600 square feet. Nothing fancy, nothing big, but still, to me, it's overwhelming and it might still take you 2, 3, 4 days.
let me ask you, Jill, what's the area that's the most challenging in your home? What's giving you the most?
Angst.
Can't even go in that room.
It's the spare room that I used to have, still have a bed in there. Can't see it. When I tell you I have, and it's been a work in progress. Me and the kids started last year. We started taking their old clothes while they were in bins in that room, started bringing them to the donation center, brought them to actually on Thanksgiving Day as well to a homeless shelter, started getting rid of their clothes. That because I was storing everything. Next thing you know, piles gotten smaller. But then more stuff is growing. I have an attachment of holding on to all their stuff from school. So I have
Mhm.
bins of like paperwork because, oh, that's so cute. Oh, this little piece of artwork. So I have one room, you open the door, you can't even budge it open. You look in there, there's bins, there's just so much crap. And
That's
I
still
keep
the spare
saying,
room has all that. That's some big spare room. or a tight
The spare room
stuff in
has just
there.
so much crap. And even my bedroom, there's a whole corner that's all mishmash of papers and I can't get it off the floor. And it's so overwhelming. And I tell my family, guys, I just need a break. If I didn't have my two kids, the three of us live alone, I'm good by myself, but I'm never alone. I'm 24/7 mom and I'm a worker and I'm also running around after school, the sports. So I'm not making excuses. I really have very limited time. And then when I have the kids in the house, the last thing I could do is declutter because as I'm trying to work, they're fighting, they're screaming, they want to eat, I can't do it. So mentally, my mind cannot focus and do it. It's like an ADHD thing. I just need them gone. Do you
It's a
babysit?
it's a vicious cycle. I do babysit. Kids and pets get along with me just great.
I
Um,
know, and birds especially. Love it.
and do we have enough time for a quick
Yes,
story about
absolutely.
family?
Go ahead,
Okay.
sweetheart. Absolutely. Bring it on.
Thank you. So I hear what you're saying. I can't wait to get into that spare room, break the door down, take it off the hinges, and let everything just go, just like the picture on the wall over here, like this, right?
It's
So
exactly like that, David. You are great.
the
Yes.
thing is that we all have it. It's just a matter of degrees. So
Yeah.
no shame, no blame. It's all a matter of what do we really want to go towards. And I would suggest, Jill, that you're a superstar. But we want to double your superstar reach and we want your light to shine twice as bright. Imagine if that was the promise by clearing the clutter. And you might think, oh, come on, that's not going to happen. But watch, we do it. And all of a sudden that promotion happens. All of a sudden a production company falls into your lap and off we go and forget these podcasts. We're going off traveling around the world. Why? Because everything is at our fingertips. So that's the kind of promise. That's the kind of positivity I bring to the game. I did want to share a story about a working mom with four children.
Oh, wow.
And I said, what's the area of most challenge for you? And she brought me into her master bedroom, married with a husband, and she showed me the laundry on her king size bed. I believe it's in my before and
I
after.
saw that picture earlier. Yes, it is. That's how my dressers in my bedroom look, just like that.
So, surfaces are made for different reasons. Some surfaces are made to be a surface and level and shiny and bright and clean, and other surfaces are designed to be platforms for storing everything. This particular mom didn't have time to breathe, much less think, much less to fold the laundry. So her bed was filled to the ceiling with clothes. I said, where does your husband sleep? Where do you sleep? She goes, well, we kind of move the pile and we figure it out. I said, I'm surprised you have four kids. I don't know how you two got together considering all this fabric in the way.
Oh my
So
gosh,
we had
that's
a good
great.
laugh. And I said
Mhm.
to her, would you mind? Let's bring the kids in here. I'd like to engage them in being responsible for their stuff. How does that sound? And she's like, oh, they'll never listen to you. And I said, well, I'm a third party. I'm not mom, I'm not dad. So they might have a little sense of, we'll listen to that man because he seems like he knows what he's doing. So I brought the kids into the room and I said, kids, we're going to have a game. You guys ready? Yeah, ready. I said, on the count of three, don't go yet. On the count of three, I want you to jump on the bed and grab your clothes and your clothes only. I made this up on the spot, Jill. This is part of the fun and creativity of clutter clearing. I said, on the count of three, don't go yet. And they're like ready to go. And oh my gosh, and hold me back. I said, once you grab your clothes, throw them in this corner of the room. You kid, throw it into this corner. You young lady, throw it into that corner. I had all four kids using all four corners. Mom sat in a chair or at least leaned on a chair that had laundry on it as well. Okay, any questions? No questions. I
My,
can't wait. Okay. So I actually did sound effects. I go 1, 2, 3. And
oh,
the kids are throwing their clothes. Within 2 minutes, the bed was empty. There was 4 piles of clothes. And I said,
oh my
great
goodness.
job, you guys. Great job. I said, now to finish it up, grab your pile of laundry and go ahead and put it in your room. Go ahead. Count of three. 1, 2, 3, go. So what seemed to be an endless problem of clutter and laundry on the bed and no room for the husband and wife really to relax became a game of effortless joy with the children. I don't care what they did with their clothes once it was in their room. I was working on mom's room. One of my cardinal rules is work one room at a time.
Beautiful.
Just a good habit because you walk out with that Febreze jar, which I don't really like Febreze, but you walk out with that and you go into the bathroom. Now you want to clear up the bathroom, but we were just in the bedroom, so you can't do the whole house all at the same time. I recommend one room at a time. that's what I did with those kids, the mom and her pile of laundry. And she had me back and referred me to others. Go figure.
Amazing. You are. I'm so happy. And hopefully maybe next time if you mentioned we're getting together again, I would love if we can like share your screen and actually show some of the footage of the befores and afters and how you do it. I think it'd be great to be a little more visual next time if that works for you.
I love being visual.
All right, perfect. Let's do it. And now we have to go, unfortunately. Tell us how we
What?
can reach out to you,
That was
sweetheart.
the fastest 3 hours I ever had.
3 hours. That's
Oh,
29 minutes and 30 seconds.
that's what I'm talking about.
I know. Go ahead, sweetie. How do we contact you?
How do you contact me? Well, I am available by telephone. It's one of those things that looks like this. Oh my gosh, it's a phone, it's a computer. 561-706-7779 is my phone number and text. Or you can go on my website, aplusclutterclearing.com. And there's a form there that says your name, your address, what your challenging area is. And then I get back to you within, I don't know, a couple of hours. So those are the two ways. I'm also on social media. I'm a columnist for the Happy Herald, a local newspaper with only happy stories. And I also have a Google business page. And I think that's where you found some of my testimonials.
Beautiful.
So
Yep.
all 5-star. People are just, I don't finish the job unless the client is satisfied. So that's the name of the game, is to bring forth quality service so that people can face the tasks of the day in a bigger, better way.
God bless. Thank you so much. Pleasure getting to know you. Looking forward to next time. You really made my day. Really, such a great energy. Thank you so much. Don't forget, clear
My
the
pleasure.
clutter. And what does that mean? Clear the
Clear the
mind.
clutter,
A
clear
plus
the mind.
clutter clearing. You got it. Thank you so much. You have a fantastic day. Bye,
See
sweetheart.
you soon. Bye-bye now.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.